Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another first impression video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about the new RGB unit that is coming out, Lua. She is not a limited unit, so you will be able to pull her outside the banner from Covenant Summons. But as you can see from your screen here, she's an Ice Ranger with very nice artwork, so you might want to pull her for sure. I know no matter how bad her kit is, I will definitely pull her because of her artwork, and she's waifu as heck. She looks great, and even in her lobby screen, she looks amazing as well. So that being said, enough about the artwork, guys. If you guys are more interested, you guys can check out the Epic 7 video on the channel about Lua and look at the artwork yourself. Let's talk about her stats and what she actually does. So looking at her stats here, she's an Ice Ranger. She is very bulky, as you'll see, and she has pretty decent speed as well. Her attack is a little bit low. She doesn't get any crit chance or crit damage from her awakenings, so you're going to probably use her as some sort of support unit and not really a primary damage dealer. She also has an imprint for her team for critical hit chance. I don't think you'll use this that much because usually your DPS you're going to want at 100% crit anyways. This is more for PvE. And you also have that imprint concentration for effectiveness for herself, which kind of indicates that she's going to have a lot of debuffs of some sort, right? She's very fast, and she also has that imprint concentration of effectiveness, and she's very bulky, so you can see that she's probably going to be used as some sort of utility, debuffing unit. That being said, let's look at her skills. You'll see her S2 here. It is a single target attack. It is going to dispel 2 buffs before putting them to sleep for 1 turn. So you can basically strip 1 unit of 2 buffs, put them to sleep for 1 turn. You can also grant yourself an extra turn to either S1 or S3 after. It is single target. The animation looks pretty cool for an S2. You're going to see single target, doesn't do that much damage because this Lua is probably built on very tanky, high effectiveness build. But you're going to see that it does sleep the Politist. Next, you'll see your S3. This is the skill you can use after your S2. You're going to dispel 1 buff from all enemies, and you'll also increase skill cooldown by 1 turn and inflict a new debuff. So Beguile, guys, it is a new debuff in the game that Lua will inflict on everyone. It is at the end of the turn, you will deal additional damage to all allies except for that unit, equivalent to 10% of their max HP. So very interesting. You'll also give your team a speed buff for 2 turns as well. And the cooldown on this is 5 turns, but since your S2 does have that extra skill or extra turn mechanic, you'll be able to reduce the cooldown pretty quickly and get it up again if you build her tanky enough. You can also soul burn this to ignore effect resist, one of the most broken soul burn effects in the game. This will make it so that basically you can, decrease skill cooldowns of like a Mediator Cowrick or even a Designer Lilibet or even a DN if you soul burn it, making it so that they can't get their annoying buffs up and they can't cut you, right? So very strong. I think this S3 is pretty strong. I don't think it's like super broken or anything, but if you can bring her with a Tagahel's Ancient Book Holder and you soul burn it, it seems very strong, especially if you take the first turn. So let's look at the animation, guys. Looks pretty cool. You're gonna see, she is just sitting down and then bam, she puts that debuff on everyone. There's no turn timer. It's going to last until it gets dispelled, or if it, you take the turn and then you take damage, right? So very interesting. It's going to be a very powerful skill, especially if you take a lot of turns. You can do a lot of indirect damage while also decreasing skill cooldowns, which is a very powerful ability in this game, especially for PvP. Now we have our S1, guys. It is a single target attack with a chance to defense break. One of the most powerful debuffs in the game, because if you defense break a key target, and if you build it on high effectiveness, right, you'll be able to defense break Soul Weavers as well. You're going to be able to inflict pretty heavy damage with your damage dealer. So before we talk about our artifact, guys, what do I think about Lua? So looking at her kit, guys, definitely an opening unit, right? I think you can pick her in cleave if you are guaranteed the first turn, because if she's not granted the first turn, it's pretty useless because you definitely want to S2, sleep a key target, and then S3 to increase skill cooldowns on everyone. And ideally, if you can soul burn it, it's very nice because you'll be able to strip a buff and also increase skill cooldown and inflict your annoying debuff that you have, right? I think if you're cleaving with her, she seems pretty decent if you take the first turn. Not like probably better than like Ran or Peyra, because keep in mind, Lua's S3 is not an attack, so you won't be able to activate Summertime Asteria's S2 and stuff like that. So you're not going to be attacking. You also can't activate like Commander Pavel's crit requirement, right, to activate his S2. So, Lua doesn't seem like a very good cleaver, but definitely usable. I think in more situations than cleaving, you're going to be using her in like a bruiser team, right, because she does have a lot of damage over time with her debuff, right? She also has a defense break on her S1, and she's very annoying with that sleep. You can sleep key targets, especially, like I said, if you build her on high effectiveness, you can sleep like Soul Weavers and stuff like that. And that skill cooldown is really, really big at the beginning of the game, right? Think about it. If you increase the skill cooldown of like Meteor Cowrick's S3 or Dian's S3, right? Basically have like a turn we can do heavy damage and possibly even kill that Meteor Cowrick or DN before they take their turn and actually get their S3 back, right? Also against like Hwayoungs, right? You can stop her from S3ing, so very good against Hwayoungs as well. Even like Conquer Ilias, if you can take the first turn, you can stop her from putting up Vigor buff. Very, very powerful. I think this unit is going to be pretty decent, but I don't think she'll be like super broken because most support units, right, they have to be picked in the right situation, right? You can't just pick them in random situations, right? I think Lua, you need to take the first turn, and you also need to be able to have like a team that can inflict damage for you, because Lua doesn't really do damage, right? Like I said, she has that defense break, but you need a damage dealer to actually take advantage of it. So I think Lua's a pretty cool unit. I think I'm definitely going to pull for her. Just to be safe, guys, you should probably wait like a day or two, or maybe even like a week, and see what people think about her before pulling for her, because her banner is going to be lasting for 2 weeks. So you don't want to waste your bookmarks on a non-limited unit. That's not good. So you guys definitely want to wait and see if she's good, because we might have like a collab or more banners in the future, like limited banners like Landy and stuff like that in the future. That being said, let's talk about her artifacts. So we have Spatio-Temporal Fan. Very interesting name, Ranger exclusive. You're going to see it is a flat effectiveness buff, which might sound like it synergizes really well with Lua because she needs effectiveness. You're also going to see that after you use a non-attack skill, so her S3 actually, you'll have a 50% chance, up to 100% chance at max limit break, at plus 30 to grant stealth to one ally except for the caster with the highest attack for 2 turns. This can only be activated every 4 turns, which kind of lines up with Lua's S3 cooldown, right? This artifact, guys, I don't think is good. So even on Lua, you're way better off using Guiding Light. Like I even think in this video here, like see here, Lua has a stealth buff on her. That's because she has Guiding Light, right? She has 2 chances to proc it with her S2, right? She can proc it on this turn. If she doesn't proc it on that turn, you get an extra turn to proc it again. And just being very annoying, unable to be CC'd with that stealth is very important, right? If you have that stealth buff up, you can't get stunned or pushed back or anything like that from single target attacks, which makes Lua a lot more effective. And like I said, this is only a 50% chance at level 1. If you get it to plus 15, it'll be 75, but that's just bad RNG, right? I think sure, you can say like Guiding Light also has RNG, but on units with extra turns, like Guiding Light is so good, right? Like Faithless Lidica, Operator Sigurd, Landy all love Guiding Light. Lua's no different. I think Lua definitely wants Guiding Light if you have an extra copy. Even a plus 15 Guiding Light will probably be better than this artifact. And I think this artifact's just kind of weird, right? You're giving another ally stealth, but in situations, if you draft like a Spectre Tenebria as your only damage dealer, like you're not going to be getting any value out of that, right? If you're drafting Landy, like she already has Guiding Light, you're not going to get any value. And most of the times, the other damage dealers you might draft might be Bruisers, so you're not going to get any value either. So, like I said, I think this artifact's pretty bad. Probably won't buy it. So yeah, I think this unit's very cool, guys. I'm going to definitely pull for her. You guys should wait. You're going to see that her banner starts on October 6th. I'm definitely going to test her out and let you guys know what I think about her. You can always watch other content creators as well. But definitely save your bookmarks and see if she's good or not before pulling after testing, because a lot of units might seem good on paper, but in practice they might be bad. And you don't want to waste your bookmarks right now because there are limiteds and maybe even collab units coming in the future. For the artifact, just skip it, guys. I don't think it's that good. If I test it out and it seems okay, maybe I'll say you should pull for it. But for now, I think the artifact is an easy skip. That being said, that's pretty much it for this video, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.